And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday Night Wine Stream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I am Rick, and tonight, we have an Italian wine. Big surprise, right? This is going to be an interesting one for me to try. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see if it pairs well with these foods that I have selected tonight. And then we're going to have some fun. We're going to do a few things. Actually, it's kind of an open chat, but I've got a special creation to show you, a rather unique creation that I'm going to show you that I did myself in about 20 minutes. And I think that should be kind of fun. Also, I'd like to have a contest tonight, a dad joke contest. If everyone's up to it, depends on how many people we get in the chat to play this dad joke contest. Get out your best dad jokes, and we'll give it a try. If we don't get enough players, then I'm just going to play by myself. And I've got a few dad jokes ready, so we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll even give away a prize. We'll see. Anyway, a good time should be had by all. Now, this is Drink with Rick, episode 127. And if you're joining me for the first time or the 127th time, this is a stream of consciousness kind of show. I do have my show notes, and they're right here, ready to go. I do have them right here. But I don't always follow them verbatim. Sometimes I don't follow them that much at all. They're only a guide, just a general guide, because the show isn't about me. Now, the show is somewhat about the wine, but this is really about you and me getting together on a Saturday night, just having a great time, just kicking back, relaxing, just enjoying each other's company, because wine brings people together. And you know what? It doesn't have to be wine. You can drink your favorite libation, whatever it is. Okay, whatever it is. You can drink water if you want. That's perfectly fine. I have some water right here. I'm going to drink too. It's fine. It's all good. And also snacks. You can snack along with me. Tell me what you're drinking and eating and what you're not drinking and eating. Tell me what you like to see me drinking. And if I can afford a bottle of it, I'll see if I can get it and drink it and give it a fair review as well. Also, if you're a winery, you can send me a bottle of wine and I will give it a fair and an honest review. It has happened on occasions in the past, and it can happen again if you want to do so. I've had a number of wine recommendations from a number of my friends here and folks in the chat, and I have tried them out. Some of them have been hits, some of them misses, some of them a little in between, but it's always been a lot of fun to try. And I always like to try something new, because that's what this is kind of all about, with trying all these different wines, trying something new and see how it pairs with food. And yes, I do have some foods to pair it with tonight, and I will show you those shortly. First of all, though, I would like to tell you that if you are watching the show, or if you're trying to watch the show, you don't know how to watch the show, because I've had people that have tried to catch it, they don't know where it is. You can watch live on Facebook. The Facebook page is Drink with Rick. You can watch also on YouTube. YouTube is at Drink with Rick. The YouTube channel is Drink with Rick. And also on Twitter. Twitter is at Drink with Rick. You can watch live there as well. And also on Twitch. Twitch is Drink with Rick and the number 1. Drink with Rick and the number 1. All on one word, pretty much. And pretty much, it's all one word. No spaces. Okay, that's what I meant to say. Now, we're also on the website. Website is drinkwithrick.com, and you can see the website right here, drinkwithrick.com. And I don't have a live chat going there. I do have chats going on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Now, Twitter, you can tweet me. It's not really chat. You can tweet me. But if you go to the website at drinkwithrick.com, you can watch live. Now, I don't have a live chat going there just yet. I'm still working on that aspect of it. But you can leave a comment in the comment box below. If you click on the post that the show is running on, you can leave a comment in the comment box, and I will respond. And in kind, it won't be right away. I don't see them right away, but I will respond. I will read them and respond. I do read every comment. I read every email that comes through. By the way, you can reach me by email at rick@savoyamedia.com. That's rick@savoyamedia.com. Also, the podcast. I've got to tell you about the podcast. The podcast goes out Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. 10 p.m. Eastern. If you miss the show, the live show, you can't watch it. You can't watch the video. You can always listen to the show. And it's free to listen to because you can pick it up on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Android, Stitcher Radio, Blueberry.com, iHeartRadio, Deezer Radio, Amazon Music, podcastindex.org, O-R-G, and by email. Now, if you click on the button for by email, if you go to drinkwithrick.com, click on the subscribe page, and click on the by email button, just put your email address in there, in that little box, and send it off to me, and you will get the latest episode of Drink with Rick as soon as it drops. And no salesman will call. And you can subscribe, and you can unsubscribe at any time if you want to, but please don't do that because you don't want to miss a single episode of Drink with Rick. I'm telling you, it's a fun show, right? And that's a review from the host. You can send me your honest reviews also for the show, and any suggestions or anything you want to add to it to say, hey, how can we make this show better? Please send them over to me. I'll be happy to read them, and I'll be happy to respond to them. And if I can do it, I'll be happy to implement them into the show. That's how we work here, because once again, this show is our show. It's our show. So get in the chat and tell me what's going on, and we'll have a great time all the way around. So we'll get to the wine here in just a moment. Let me check the chats just a moment and see, starting off, who we have in the chat. And it is a little bit quiet. It's always quiet. It's starting off at 10 p.m. Eastern. It was running at 11 p.m. for a while, and the chats were pretty lively then. But I'll be honest, a lot of people, it was too early for a lot of people to show up during the summertime. So that was a problem. So I did move it back to 10 p.m. When daylight savings time is over, which is November, we go back to it being dark earlier. We'll see people coming in a little bit earlier, the 10 o'clock hour, because it's kind of late then, as opposed to now. Well, we're still summer, folks. We're still in summer, and it's starting to get dark a little earlier now. It is, but people are still out and about. Just right after dusk, so it's still a bit early for some folks. So we'll see. After daylight savings time, typically I found that it picks up a lot more in the chats in the winter, and the fall and the winter time, in the winter months. Okay, enough of my rambling. Like I said, this is a stream of consciousness kind of show, and boy, what a stream of consciousness I have. All right, let's get to the wine. This is what we're drinking tonight. What we're drinking tonight is an Italian wine. This is called Caleo, or it's either, I don't know if it's pronounced Caleo or Caleo. I think it's Caleo. Salice Salentino. This Salice Salentino. This is an Italian wine from Italy, and I thought this was an interesting wine because I think it was around a $10 mark for what I picked it up for. But I'll go through the prices here in just a few minutes. This is the back of the wine, and I'm going to read the back of the wine so everyone is somewhat familiar with what we're looking at here. It's called Caleo Salice Salentino, Denominazione di Origine Controllata, Red Wine 2018. This dry, well-balanced wine has blackberry and licorice flavors, a full-bodied palate, and a finish with fine tannins. Excellent with grilled red or white meats and sausages. Serving temperature 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. I did not chill this wine down. It says to chill the wine. I did not do that. Ooh, I should have paid more attention to this, huh? Let's see. It's bottled by Fasolata di Piave in Italy, imported by Serenity Imports in Stamford, Connecticut. And there is 13% alcohol by volume, ABV, in this 750 milliliter bottle of wine, and it is a product of Italy. So that's what we're going to open it. I have to show you what we're going to pair it with. Let me set this down here just a little bit. Whoop. Oh, I messed that up. Oh, too bad. Okay, let me set that. I should have moved that at all. That's for later. I'll see if I can fix that later. Okay, this is what we have to pair it with. Where are we? Camera 3. Here we are. We have to pair it with, we have some steak. A really nice steak we had for dinner tonight. Have some, it was really, really good. Here we go. Center it a little bit more. And then we have some potatoes. Steak and potatoes night, huh? It should go okay with this wine, right? And we have my wife cheese, wonderful, wonderful radish salad. And then we have some cheeses here. We have a selection of cheeses. And guess what? The creamy, the Trader Joe's double cream Gouda is back. So I'm looking forward to trying this out. Now, let's see. Let me go back to camera 2 here for just a minute. Or camera 1. Camera 2. All right, I do have a dessert too. I'm going to show that dessert off later on. You know what? Why don't I just show this dessert off now? As a matter of fact, since I can. This is what I have for dessert. Just for the show, back to camera 3, my wife made this wonderful apple pie. A wonderful pie. Oh man, this thing came apart on me. No, not the apple pie. It was something else. I was going to show it, but it came apart. Anyway, good thing I have a picture of it. I took a photo of it earlier. So I should never have moved it. All right, so back to camera 2 here. Oh my. I don't know what to do about that. So I didn't want to spoil the surprise for everybody. All right. So anyway, where were we? Okay. So my lovely wife Chi is watching, and good to see you, Chi. And who else is in? Oh, we've got folks in the chat on Twitch. That Square Guy's in the chat. Says, good. I made it. I'm glad you did this, Square Guy. I'm so glad you made it. And unfortunately, my surprise had something to do with you. As a matter of fact. I don't know if I can put it back together, but I do have a picture of it. It fell apart on me while I was moving the things around because it's so. I'll show you in a little bit. You got to stick around to see this. I think you'll really, really enjoy this because it's right in line with what you do. And we'll talk about the Square Guy in just a little bit because I'm gonna give him a shout out when I do this. It'll make up for my horrible. I don't know. I can't believe I did that. Beckbex is in the chat. Beckbex says, quite the feast tonight. How exciting. Beckbex, it's good to see you. It's exciting to see you here, and I'm glad you are. And I'm looking forward to trying the wine out with this. That Square Guy says, so true, Bessie. That Square Guy says, always such amazing appetizers. Yes, and my lovely wife, Cheetahs are great. Yes, that Square Guy says, yes, it fell apart. Yes, it did fall apart. But I did take a picture of it, so you can see a picture of it later on. Oh man, that's terrible. All right. Well, anyway, I think you're going to enjoy it. Anyway, so where were we? Oh yes, the wine. So we have anything going on okay, kind of quiet everywhere else at the moment. Twitch and Facebook is what's happening. So let's get right to opening the wine. So the sooner we get to opening the wine, the sooner we get to all this other fun stuff. And dad joke contest, please. The dad joke contest. We can have some fun with that too. I have some dad jokes lined up, by the way. I hope you do too. All right, so this is the wine that we're going to open, and we're going to open it now. And it's a twisty cap. How about that? So I don't need my mechanical corkscrew tonight. What I do need, what I should have done, was chill this first, but I didn't. And of course, I have my aerator, my Veneto aerator, which, by the way, my wife cleaned out really, really well for me the past weekend. She is so amazing. And you know what? This thing is not staying in there. Wow. The mouth of this bottle is a lot wider than I would have expected. So I don't think it's going to fit in there very well. It's not going to stay. So I'm just going to have to be very careful. Oh, we might have an accident tonight, folks. I hope not. And, of course, to pour the nectar, the grape nectar, I have my trusty Galway genuine Irish crystal glass from Ireland. And this was given to me by my employers at buytwobeerradios.com. I guess it's going to be a two-hand, hopefully it won't leak. Let's see if it leaks. No, it didn't leak so far, but I am having to hold it with two hands so it doesn't, because it just comes right out of there. Wow, amazing. And I hear the dog outside the studio, the old Cosmo. He wants in. I can't let him in. I made that mistake the other night. I'll tell you about that later if somebody reminds me. Beck says, "Oh, what a pour! Oh, goodness, yeah." I'm going to let this open up for just a couple of minutes, and while it's opening up, let's learn a little bit more about this wine. Now, this was a little bit hit and miss for me because I found it at Total Wine, but I did not find a whole lot of information on it anywhere else online. Now, I did find where you can buy it, and did you know it's actually available in Australia too? The Square Guy, who's in Australia, it's actually available there, as a matter of fact, and in the UK. So it's available all around. It's an genuine Italian wine, so it should be. But what I did find out a little bit about it is that it gets 3.2 stars on Vivino, which is not great. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just a little above average. So I don't know if I can necessarily. Now these are just everyday people who drink the wine and who post reviews up there. They post their own reviews. I haven't actually really had a chance to read them. I'm just kind of skimming through a few of them now, but I didn't really read any of them. But some of them seem to like them, and some of them seem to say, nah, it's okay, just okay. We're going to find out. I might like it. It's Vivino has it for $9.99 a bottle, and let's see, online at Wine Searcher Total Wine has it for $9.99 a bottle. That's in the one in Washington. I'll tell you what I paid for it. I guess you already know since I bought it at Total Wine. Total Wine in Florida, $9.99 a bottle. Seems pretty consistent. Not too many other places. And yeah, what did I pay for it? Well, I didn't bring the receipt up here, but I don't really need it because, I paid $9.99 a bottle for it. There you go. It was pretty much straight across the board. So I'm looking forward to trying. Now, this is what got me to, Rick, why did you pick the wine? Well, out of all the wines in Total Wine, or Total Wino as I like to call it, and affectionately so, okay, Total Wino. The reason I picked this wine is because I was looking through the Italian wines section. I was looking for something different that I hadn't tried before, and this is one that I had never seen before. But when I picked it up and read the back of it, it said licorice. It said licorice notes, and I'm thinking, I love licorice. I like licorice notes. I want to try this out. So I don't know if this really does taste, if it really does have licorice notes in it. It says it does, and I think it was said so on the bottle, right? When I was looking on the back of the bottle, it said full-bodied and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, blackberry and licorice flavors. So I want to know, does this really have a licorice flavor to it? That's why I'm eager to try it. So we will try it out, and we'll do that right now. Let me give it a swirl. Give a little bit of a swirl and a sniff. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of blackberry on the nose. That came up strong, but it's a little bit earthy. That I wasn't expecting. Let's see what it says here. I wasn't really expecting it. Of course, I just opened up the bottle, so it really hasn't had a chance to open up a little bit. But let me check. I didn't see anything about earthiness in here. So sweet. Well, yeah, there is a little earthiness. Somebody says earthy. So let's see. I'm getting something else in here. I can't tell what that is. Let me give it a taste. Yeah, licorice. I'm tasting some licorice in here. Little kind of like a little fennel, licorice and fennel flavors. Oh, had to remember Okay. But definitely some blackberry. There's some black fruits in here. Maybe a hint of black cherry, but mostly blackberry. Yeah, it does taste a little earthy. It really does. But this wine is bolder than I expected. It's actually a very bold wine. If you don't like really bold flavors, it's not a light wine at all. This is something I think you definitely want to have with food, at least for me, because I think it's going to be a bit much for my stomach if I'm just have it's so bold. It's going to be a bit much if I'm just drinking it without eating any food. That's just me, and it's there are some tannins in here, but it's not heavy on the tannin at all. It's not really heavy. It says they're tannin, but it's kind of it's kind of I don't know, medium, I guess. And it's fairly dry. There's a hint of sweetness to it, but it's fairly dry, and it has a fair finish. It's not a super long finish. It's kind of a medium finish, but it is. I want to say it's a little acidic, but it's not too bad. But I'm definitely getting licorice notes in here. Now it's not overpowering at all. The blackberry is kind of what takes over the flavor of the wine. But when I took my first sip and I had it going into my nose and my mouth at the same time, I was getting a few things. So it's earthy and maybe just a hint of chocolate in there. It's actually a tasty wine, but it's a little bit bold for my taste. Now, some people love bold. They love bold wines. I definitely don't like them too light. I mean, because then it's like, it doesn't seem much like wine. But I kind of like it sort of medium. But some people love really bold flavors, and I like bold if it's with a heavy meal. Then I can have a bold wine. But if I'm just drinking it by itself, I prefer kind of a medium balanced wine. This is one that I probably wouldn't drink by itself. But let's go back to the chat for just a minute and grab the wrong mouse. Let's go back to the chat for just a moment and get back to Twitch for a moment. And the Square Guy says, "Oh no, I read that already." Okay, let's see. Well, I've got to catch up with it. No, that Square Guy says he's an expert pourer. Bex, and Bex says, "Oh, what a pour! Oh goodness!" And you're telling me you paid $9.99 for the bottle? Well, actually, I paid $9.99 for the bottle of wine, not just the bottle. But we're starting to dad jokes earlier, aren't we? Yeah, it was $9.99 USD. I'm not sure where you are, Bex, but Australia. I think I was looking at something. I could look that up later, but I think I was looking at something a little bit more than that. I think it was something like a 10, 12. No, I think it was 12 something in Australian dollars or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. I know in the UK it was considerably higher than that in pounds, but or actually it was in pounds. It was considerably higher than in pounds. I don't really know the conversion rates anymore because they change so much all the time. So to be honest, I can't really tell you what the prices would what it would be internationally anymore, to be honest. So I think I like this wine. I really like the licorice flavor in this wine, but I definitely think it needs to be paired with some food. So let's go ahead and pair it with some food now. And to do that, we're going to start off with I'm not doing the pie yet. Let's start off with the steak because this gets cold. When the steak gets cold, it doesn't taste as good when it's cold as it does when it's hot. Okay, that goes without saying, right? This is a really great steak. We had for dinner. Still very good. My wife, she marinated this steak. I don't know how long she did, but she can jump in and tell me how long it was marinated. I think it was pretty much most of the day. Actually, come to think of it, I think I saw it in the fridge last night, and so she may have started doing it then. Marinated by Chi, grilled by Rick. Yeah, I grilled it. Good steak. Oh, nice combo. I like that. Yeah, once again, I think the boldness of the wine and the steak, they work out pretty well together. I'm looking at the wrong camera. I do that. All right, let's go back to camera 3. I'm going to try this one more time. Let's try the steak one more time. Let's try another little piece here. Yeah, it's kind of a medium, medium to medium well is what I had here. Medium to medium well. And oh, still juicy. Oh, wow. This is a nice piece of steak. Really juicy. I've got to have some more. This is a good steak. I'm not saying it just because I grilled it, although I did. Oh, yeah. Definitely a great pairing. I like that pairing very much. I like that steak. I bet it'd go good with a Pinot I had the other day. You know, I was watching Square Guy's stream, and I was having a little bit of a cab with that, and it was quite good. It was good pairing too, watching the Square Guy. If you haven't checked out the Square Guy, he and Darcy do Lego videos, and they do some baking videos, and they do some gaming videos, and it's always fun. The chat's always fun. He has a great community of people, that Square Gang. Some great people there, and it's always fun to be in the chats. I enjoy it, and you know, I think it's a great pairing to have some wine and watch and participate with that Square Guy. You should check it out. He's on Twitch, that Square Guy, and definitely recommend him. He's one of my, I would say he's pretty much my favorite streamer. I really enjoy that Square Guy. Okay, well, my son too. My son's on Twitch, Cube Command, so he's also a favorite streamer of mine. So. Almost got myself in trouble there, didn't I? With the family. All right, not me yet. Yeah, still there. Let's try. I'm checking for the licorice. The licorice flavor is still there. As it opens up, it may actually come out a little bit more. I'm going to clear the palate. We're going to have it with. Let's see what we can have it with. We'll try it with something kind of bitter, sour kind of thing. Let's see how that pairs. We're going to try it with this radish salad, and I really enjoy this radish salad. It's Chi's recipe, and she does a fine job with it. And first time I had it, I was really impressed with it, and she's made it ever since. She's been tweaking up the recipe a little bit here and there, but I think she's really hit the mark on this. Actually, really good. I love this. I could eat that whole bowl. She makes a bowl, but I could eat the whole bowl, which is not bad. It's veggies, right? Oh, that's interesting. A little vinaigrette in there, I think, and it makes a very interesting mix with the wine. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay. You know, since we're on a roll here, I should try it with the potatoes. Try a little bit of potato. I'm not going to eat. That Square Guy says, geez, that pie looks good. And it looks like it. And Beck says, what a dad joke. I'm in Aus too. Okay, so you are in Australia as well. What part of Australia are you in? I know that I know that pricing can be different depending on where you're located in Australia, just like it is here in the States. So I've got the potato here. I'm going to reach over and get the potato. Oh, I just did. Working on that delay here. A delay in my head. Okay, we're having a little more wine. Try this. And she's really seasoned this potato just right. I love her potatoes. Oh, that's a good pairing too. Steak and potatoes. I think this would go good with a steak and potato meal. If you make it all just right. Wow, I should have had this at dinner. But then if I had, I wouldn't have it for the show. So clear the palate one more time. What camera am I looking at now? I'm looking at this one. Okay. All right. Let me go to a long shot. That might be better. Okay, the Cam 3. Let's try it with this. This is what is this cheese? If you remember, she wrote it down for me. I don't remember what. I think we've had it one time. This is a Rembrandt cheese. It's a Rembrandt. I'm not sure what's all involved here, but it is a Rembrandt cheese. And I don't think it's been aged. Excuse me. I don't think it's been aged as long as Rembrandt. Oh no. Wait for the dad joke time. Oh, that's not bad. It works pretty well with the cheese. I think this would probably go with a lot of different cheeses. I'm going to clear the palate. And what we'll do then is we'll go to camera 3, and we're going to try it with this, whatever this is. What is this? Oh, this is the aged Gouda. This is not the Trader Joe's Gouda. It is another aged Gouda. I don't know where she got this one. It is an aged Gouda, different from a regular Gouda in the fact that it's aged. It's sharper, and it a little heavier. And it's it tastes like it's aged. I'm not caring too much for the aged Gouda in general, or this particular one. This one with the wine doesn't really do anything for me. Not bad, but it doesn't really do anything particular. Let's go back camera 3, try one more item with it. Let's try it with the Trader Joe's Double Cream Gouda. We have never had a miss on this show with the Double Cream Gouda, and hopefully we won't have one tonight. Let's see if this wine makes it even creamier. Let's see. That's good cheese. Nice and creamy. This is another one. I'm looking at the wrong camera. I haven't had enough yet. Maybe I have. This is a good pairing with the Double Cream Gouda. In fact, I'm going to try it one more time, just because I can. If I can get it off the plate. And this time I'm looking at the right camera. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's good. Good stuff. I like it. So in all, I think it goes well with most everything on that plate. Steak, very, very well. Potatoes, it went pretty well with the radish salad and with all the cheeses, except I wasn't real crazy about that aged Gouda too much, but that might have been just me. We'll try it with the pie towards the end of the show. We're going to test the pie out later. But for now, let's get into the show. Let's get back to the chat, because I really want to do a dad joke contest tonight. We need a lot of people in the chat. Oh, we can do it with everyone we have here. Beck says he's going back for seconds. Must be good cheese. Yeah, it is. Actually, it is quite good. Got the wrong mouse again. Here we go. Let me check Facebook. I haven't checked Facebook. Okay, so my wife, she says marinated for 3 to 4 hours. She's talking about the steak now. And I asked her earlier how long she marinated the steak. So it was 3 to 4 hours. It seemed like it was a good part of the day from when I saw it. But 3 to 4 hours, now it tastes pretty good for that. For only a 3 to 4 hour. I know that she has on occasion marinated the steaks overnight before, things like that. And some of them were we're quite good that way. So, all right, so let's get to, oh, while the square guy's here, I want to go right into this here. No, wait, I can't. I got to do the anniversaries and the national days first, and then we can do that. Stick around. I'm not stringing you along, to be honest. I'm just trying to follow the general itinerary, especially for those who show up late. Because here's what happened. Last episode, when I showed my film, Ed, my good friend Ed Anthony, who has been involved in a number of our film projects, and he had never actually seen this film before, as far as I know. He'd never seen it before, and it's been at least 30 years since the rest of us have. And I showed it last week, and he got in. He knew I was going to be playing it, but he got in late, and he got in just after I finished it. And he says, "Oh man, I missed it." So, the thing is, I never know when. I try to keep to the itinerary, and sometimes I get off track. But if I just waited about 3 more minutes, he would have caught it. You can't. There's no way to predict all this. There's no way. I can't. Nothing I can do about that. Okay, so let's go right to the birthdays and anniversaries. There is one birthday. I didn't really have any birthdays this week. If anybody here has a birthday coming up in the next week or so, tell me. We'll toast it. Or if we had one that you missed, or that we missed. Okay. Anyway, so let's go ahead and hit the fireworks. Fireworks, please. Got one birthday to toast, and it's really for a celebrity. I do not do celebrity birthdays. As a general rule, I do not do celebrity birthdays because I am not a celebrity hound. I'm not a celebrity kind of person. Well, you can talk about that later if you want. It's okay. But this is one kind of celebrity. He actually is a celebrity. He's one celebrity that's kind of important to the space that I'm in. And if it wasn't for him and his partner there, his associate, I don't think I'd be doing this right now. I wouldn't be. So because of that, I want to give him a birthday shout out. And he doesn't know me from anybody. I've been podcasting for over 15 years. He doesn't know me from any, because he's been podcasting since day one. And I'll tell you who he is. This is for Adam. He doesn't know me from Adam because he is Adam. He's Adam Curry. Adam Curry, who you may be familiar with, maybe, if you're an old geezer like me. He was an MTV VJ back in the day from 1987 to 1999, I think, around that area. Anyway, he was an MTV VJ. He's done a lot of things. He's had quite a career, and he was one of the first. As a matter of fact, he was notably one of the first celebrities to do his own website. And he's done a number of websites. And one of the things that he did was the development of podcasting. He and Dave Weiner are known that they basically pretty much invented podcasting, and it's kind of up in the air as to who exactly did what part of podcasting, but Adam is generally credited as being the podfather. Adam's the podfather. So if it wasn't for Adam, I wouldn't have been a podcaster. I probably wouldn't have the job I have now. I wouldn't have. He's pretty much directly responsible for a lot of this. I wouldn't be streaming this show right now because I never would have gotten into podcasting, which got me into streaming. So, so I want to give a toast. This is a rarity for me because I do not toast celebrities. I think people toast them too much as it is. But in this case, I make an exception because he was directly responsible for a lot of what I'm doing in my career. So I want to give a toast to Adam Curry. His birthday was yesterday, September 3rd, Friday, September 3rd, 2021. I believe he's 50. Does that make him 57? I think it does. So anyway, here's to Adam Curry. Thank you very much for inventing podcasting that we're also much benefiting from. Here's to you. Happy birthday. And may you have many, 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 many more. Adam Curry. You know what? I'm going to toast Adam again because he also launched something else last year that's also continuing in the podcasting space. You know, you've heard me mention podcastindex.org, and Drink with Rick is on that platform. It's one of the platforms that you can find Drink with Rick, Podcast Index. And they have been experimenting a lot of different things. But that is a huge repository for podcasts, kind of an alternative to Apple Podcasts in a sense, and I think the more outlets there are for distributing and syndicating podcasts, the better. But he did Podcast Index because there are some platforms that are trying to be really, really isolationist about this and trying to lock down and be behind these paywalls and trying to make podcasting sort of not syndicated anymore. It's like you have to go, like for instance, Spotify. Spotify, you know, they want, like since Joe Rogan moved to Spotify, you know, they paid him a lot of money for it. Basically, that's the only place you can find Joe Rogan is on Spotify. So if you want to hear Joe Rogan, you want to hear his podcast, you have to go to Spotify for it. That really is that goes against the grain of the spirit of podcasting, because it's not what podcasting was supposed to be about. It's supposed to be completely open access, open distribution, open syndication. And that's what the RSS feed is which basically is what makes it a podcast. Once you get behind closed doors like that, and you're not using an RSS feed to distribute a podcast anymore, it's technically not really a podcast anymore. So, because what makes it a podcast is you've got this pod and you're casting it all over the place. Anyway, I digress. Thank you to Adam Curry. Thank you very much. Here's to you. Happy, happy birthday. Thank you for podcastindex.org. And I do use it, as a lot. I think a lot of people, more people are starting to do. Check it out. It's podcastindex.org, O-R-G. So let's see. I think that does it for the birthdays. Once again, we're drinking this. We're drinking the Salice Salentino 2018. It's an Italian wine from Italy. Yes, from Italy. Now, oh yes, you know, got one more thing. I'm trying to move along with this so we can get to all the other fun stuff that I know you're waiting for. This is fun, drinking to everybody, toasting everyone. That's what this is about. Yeah, I got quiet in the chat on Twitch. I started going into my thing about podcasting, and I got quiet everywhere else too. Not everyone is into podcasting, and that's true. It's become more mainstream than it used to be. You know, when I first started, nobody knew what it was, and the first 5 years I was into it, I had to explain to people what a podcast was. Now it's more mainstream. People generally know what it is, but in the very beginning, it was kind of tough to explain it to them. All right, so I have an anniversary to toast. Let's toast an anniversary. Fireworks. I almost forgot that. Fireworks again. I have an anniversary to toast, and this is for my good friend Everett. Everett and his lovely wife, Gail. Everett and Gail, I worked with Everett for many, many years over at WOFL. He is a WOFL Channel 35 alumni, as I am, and we worked together. He worked in sales. He's also quite the photographer. He's a very, very talented photographer. Great shots. He does a lot of great shots. Anyway, this is for Everett and Gail. Everett and Gail, I'm not sure how long they've been married, but they've been married quite a while. And their anniversary was this past Monday, August 30th. So I want to toast Everett and Gail. Here's to Everett and Gail Montiel. Happy, happy anniversary. May you have many, 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 many more. To Everett and Gail Montiel. I'll toast you again, too. Happy anniversary, Everett and Gail. Happy, happy anniversary. Okay, that does it for the anniversaries and the birthdays. We have some national days, though. You want to hear about those? we'll do some national days, and then we'll get right to the. I'm not going to spill the beans, but I already spilled the surprise. But I'm going to set that up here in just a minute while we're doing the national days. All right, so national days. Let me queue up for the national days here, and let me check Twitch here for just a moment and see what's going on Twitch and Facebook. Kind of quiet everywhere, and kind of quiet on YouTube. Speak up, and tell me how you're doing, and tell me how I'm doing on this show. Just be kind. All right. Okay, so national days. Let me get my national day thing. And the national days come courtesy of nationaldaycalendar.com. Give full credit for that. I didn't come up with these. Nationaldaycalendar.com, where you can get the latest in the national days. So check these out. This is what the national days for September 4th. Let me get a good, let's see, what do we have for the national days? I'll use this. I used this last week because my daughter Tia, CM Cinder, she did this really, really nice animation for me, as you can see back there. And she really did this fantastic animation. Yeah, there's just spilling a little bit of wine as the bottles are going back and forth. It's really cool. I like that. So we'll do that for the national days. She put a lot of work into it, and I like seeing that. I could watch that all through the show. September 4th, National Spice Blend Day. September 4th, which is today, for another hour and 4 minutes, is National Spice Blend Day. A blend of spices. You know that. Hey, doesn't KFC use 11 herbs and spices? A secret, or maybe not so secret recipe. 11 herbs and spices. Spice Blend Day, National Spice Blend Day. Let's drink to that. Ooh. I can taste a little bit of, maybe I get a little bit of spices in here too. I got some fennel. And it's opening up a little bit more, and I'm getting a few more flavors out of this, I think. September 4th is also National Wildlife Day. I will drink to National Wildlife Day. It's a good thing we have wildlife. Some people think I was wildlife. My wife calls me a dog sometimes. That's not really a domesticated dog. I don't know where I was going with that. All right. All right, National Wildlife Day. Here's a National Wildlife Day. I'll drink to that. It's also National Newspaper Carrier Day. September 4th is National Newspaper Carrier Day. Oh, I got a story about that. Okay, I'll make it really quick, okay? I've got a story about that. You like stories. Here's an interesting one. When I was a kid, I used to try all these different I was very enterprising. Used to try all these different enterprising things, going to mostly door-to-door selling. And I sold my brothers and sisters and I, when we were really, really young, we had one of those little red wagons, and we'd pack them with these seeds, like the Burpee Seed Company and things like that. I don't even know if that's around anymore, but all these seeds. So you buy these seeds and you can resell them. And we'd go around door to door, this was in Salisbury, North Carolina, and sell packets of seeds. Made some money on that. You can win some prizes and stuff like, kind of sell enough seeds, you get a prize or something. It's really exploiting children. It really is. But I did that. I did that a few times, trying to make some extra money and win a few prizes. Cheap junk in there. I actually think I won one thing. I think it was a printing press. It was a little tiny printing press. It was very interesting. That's another story for another time. But I did a lot of different things. I sold a lot of different things door to door. I'd sell ticket books and things like that. Well, when I got to be about 12, 13 years old, I was at that age where I wanted to sell newspapers, and so we had what was called Grit newspaper. I don't know if you ever heard of it. You ever heard of Grit? I think it's still around, as a matter of fact. It was a weekly newspaper, weekly publication, kind of a tabloid style, but it was a little bit larger than that, and very much newspaper. And um, they would recruit people all across the country. And when I say people, they're talking about kids. Like a lot of the I want to say the 12 to 15-year-old kids that would go out and do it, and then the Boy Scouts and things like that. And I was a Boy Scout at one time. Another story for another time. And I saw this and I thought, I want to try doing this. I can make some money selling newspapers. And by this time, I had moved. This is when we moved to Florida. I was living in Winter Park, a suburb of Orlando. I wouldn't say suburb. It was really more of its own little town next to Orlando. And I had my bike, and I would get these newspapers every week, and I had a newspaper route. I signed people up for this newspaper route, and every week I had a little bag. I had one of those newspaper bags, and I'd just sit there and throw the newspapers out. Except, I couldn't throw the newspapers out in people's lawns. I'd have to go door to door and leave them door to door, or knock on the door and give them their newspaper, because they're supposed to just throw them out there on the lawn. But I used to do this. So I used to go around and sell newspapers to door to door. And it was fun. It was some work, but it was fun. And then I'd promptly take, now the thing that I would do is I would promptly take whatever I made from the newspapers, my cut. Send the rest of it back to them, to Grit, and then my cut, my little meager cut, they're exploiting kids again, I tell you. And I'd save it up to, use it to make some of my films with, or go spend it on candy and junk like that. Stuff kids did when they were 12 and 13. Anyway, so that's my story. That really wasn't much of a story. Here's the National Newspaper Carrier Day. It's just more of an old faded memory. September 4th is also National Macadamia Nut Day. If you like macadamia nuts, you can drink to that. National Tailgating Day is also, this is the first Saturday in September is National Tailgating Day. There you go. A lot of people like to tailgate. I don't mean tailgate. Don't tailgate on the road. When you're doing 70 miles an hour down the road, not that kind of tailgating, okay? National Tailgating Day is when you go to football games or races or something like that, and you're having tailgating parties. That kind of tailgate. I didn't need to tell you that. You're too smart. You're smart enough to know that. Not like some of these other people that don't know stuff like that and say, hey, I can go out and tailgate today. Yeah, this is really, really going downhill fast, isn't it, folks? National Tailgating Day. Today is also National World Beard Day. Beard, not beer. Sorry. It's not beard day. Beard, like, facial hair. I had a beard. Believe it or not, I had a beard. I was going to grab a picture and show it to you guys when I had a beard, but I didn't have time before the show, and I kind of got off on other things and just generally forgot about it. So I don't have one. Maybe another time. But here's the World Beard Day, first Saturday in September. I do have a story about that. Oh, no. When I worked at Disney, and I worked at Disney for 9 years, worked at Walt Disney World in Orlando for 9 years, and one of the rules about Disney, when I was old enough to grow a beard, I first started getting facial hair. That's what I want to do. I said, I want to grow a beard. I want to grow a mustache and a beard, and just because I could. The thing is, when I started working at Disney, that was one of their cardinal rules, was you weren't allowed to have any facial hair. Now, any facial hair meant, first of all, you had to keep your hair short. You couldn't, you had to have that all-American male look, whatever that means anymore. It doesn't really mean anything anymore, because all-American look, look around you, it's like anything goes. But when I was a kid, the all-American look was like the look from the 50s, like you're talking, watching Leave It to Beaver, watching Wally Cleaver, this short hair and stuff like that, looking all clean cut and everything. And so they had this rule, you had to be clean cut. And then the hair had to be off the ears, off the collar, and you couldn't have any facial hair. Well, I mean, they allowed eyebrows, of course, but that goes without saying. I had to say that. I mean, somebody's going to say, "Hey, what about eyebrows?" Somebody's going to say that. Not any of you, of course, not you. You're too smart for that. But no facial hair, no beards and mustaches, goatees, and things like that. So I couldn't grow my beard. They would not let me grow a beard and a mustache. So, and it's something that I mildly resented, especially since on numerous occasions, I made the argument that, wait a minute, Walt Disney had a mustache. Why couldn't I at least have a mustache? Walt Disney had a mustache. Well, the reason Walt Disney could have a mustache was because, first of all, he was Walt Disney. Second, they did allow mustaches if it was for show. If it was someone who, if say for instance, if it was one of the performers in the parks and it was relevant to their performance, like say the barbershop quartet, they had the barbershop quartet going around in the Disney parks, or if it was someone who was emulating one of the Disney characters that had a mustache, then they could grow a mustache. Everyone else, no mustache, no facial hair. So I kind of resented that a little bit. I got by for a while. But then at some point when I was, here's what happened. When I was going to leave Disney, I went out for hernia surgery. And this was at the point where I was working. I think I told you before that at one point I was working at Disney and Channel 35 simultaneously. I was working 2 full-time jobs. Channel 35 started off as a part-time gig, and then it went full-time, and then I had 2 full-time jobs in front of me, and I was commuting back and forth between Disney and Channel 35, which was quite a commute, working 80 hours or 80 plus hours a week. And I told you the spider story a couple of weeks ago. That's the different story. You can go back and listen to that later, watch it later. So anyway, the thing is, when at that point I had a hernia, and I was going to take off some time to have this hernia done. Now the plan was that I was going to take 6 weeks off from Disney to have the hernia surgery, and it was going to be 6 weeks downtime, which I was getting. Actually, I was getting full benefits from Disney, full benefits from Channel 35, and what the Disney benefits didn't pay for the surgery, Channel 35 would pick up. So it cost me nothing to have this surgery. It was completely free because Disney picked up the bulk of it, 35 picked up the rest of it. That's why I kept my 2 jobs for a little while. That was the crux of it. Because the plan was that during the 6 weeks, when it got close to being the end of the 6-week period, I was going to go into Disney and put in my 2-week notice and quit Disney because I wanted to go to full, just to work for Channel 35. And so anyway, while I was out from my hernia surgery, I said, hey, this is my chance to grow full facial hair. So that's what I did. I started growing out this full facial hair. My roommate, Perry, at the time, he took some pictures of it as it was growing out to sort of document it a little bit. And so when I went to Disney to put in my 2 weeks notice, I went up to the office upstairs and I said, okay, well, I'm putting, they first of all sat me down. They said, okay, so you're starting back on this and such a date. And I said, well, no, I'm not. And they said, why? Well, because I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. And basically they were looking at me the whole time going, well, you're going to have to cut your facial hair. You're going to have to cut all that beard off. You shouldn't be growing that beard. You're going to have to cut that beard and the mustache off. I said, well, I'm not going to do that. And they said, why not? It's just because I'm not coming back. And the look on the supervisor's face was just like, what? You're not coming back? But you're a lifer. No, I'm not. And it was just wide eyes. They're like deer in the headlights, wide eyes. And they said, you can't quit. I'm like, but I just did. And they didn't want to accept the 2 week notice. So, I said, finally, I said, well, I'm not cutting my hair off and I'm leaving. So you're just going to have to accept it. So they accepted the 2 week notice, and I had 2 weeks when I didn't have to go back to work because I was still on my 6 week leave for the surgery. So I never had to go back there again. And by the time I was done, I had a full beard and a mustache. And that was my beard story. And why don't I have a beard and a mustache now? Somebody's going to ask me that question, right? That square guy said, okay, Tom Antio's in the chat. Tom Antio, it's great to see you, son. And please stick around because I'm going to show you this thing that fell apart on me, unfortunately. That square guy is going to be really disheartened to see that. But I've got a picture. That square guy says, I wonder if they're relaxed the rules at all. I don't think they have. That square guy says, clean shaven, short back and sides. I'd resent it too. LOL. Yeah, and I did. And he's laughing. He's got the emojis. You know what? I did. That square guy says, I worked at McDonald's when I was 16. When I signed on, I had a beard that they asked me to shave off. So I did. Then I had to grow it back for a stage show I was doing. So they let me keep it. Then I just never got rid of it. Sometimes you just have to put your foot down, right? I got a question for you now. And he says, every other week, this square guy says, every other week, one of the managers would tell me to shave it off again. And he'd say, yes, boss. Anything you say, boss. Never did, though. Meanwhile, two of the other managers would always tell me I look so much better with a beard. I took that as official approval. And kudos to you because now I can understand why some places wouldn't want you to have a beard, like if you're working in food service, because stuff gets in there and it's not really clean. But you know what? They have beard, they have little mask things that you put over your beard if you're working in the kitchen and that sort of thing. For food, for protection, that sort of thing. But and I understand that, but it's still, it's your face. It's your face. You should have the right to grow a beard if you want to, right? And Scorga says, yeah, I wasn't in the kitchen. I was on the counter, so it didn't matter. LOL. In cases like that, it really doesn't. But you know what? You look great with a beard. I want to say that you look great with a beard, and I want to say that, and so someone's going to ask me, why don't you wear a beard? Somebody's going to ask me, right? Why don't you have a beard now, Rick? I can't wait to tell that story. I'll answer that one later, because my wife's in the chat. Here's the World Beard Day, first Saturday in September. World Beard Day. Okay, I've got a question for you, Score Guy. Let's get to September 5th. Let's get the national days out of the way. Got some more toasting to do. I've got a question for you that sparked something here. September 5th, which is tomorrow in about 49 minutes. And it's September 5th is National Cheese Pizza Day. I knew everybody was waiting to hear about this. I was waiting to hear about this. Cheers to cheese. National Cheese Pizza Day. I will drink to that. I will heartily drink to that. I love cheese pizza. Chi, do you think maybe we can have a cheese pizza for National Cheese Pizza Day tomorrow? Let's see if we can do that. Anyway, I'll drink to that. And you know what? Wine goes great with cheese pizza. Or any kind of pizza. Yeah. It goes great with that, and I think this one would go pretty well with it, actually. September 5th is National... Somebody's gonna roast me for this one. September 5th, this is the last national day. September 5th is National Be Late for Something Day. Yes, tomorrow is National Be Late for Something Day. I know a lot of people go to church on Sunday. I would not suggest that you be late for church, but if you are, you can always... If somebody gives you the look, or if the preacher, the minister, the priest, or whatever comes up and says, "Hey, you were late for church today," and you say, "I was just observing National Be Late for Something Day," I would not suggest you do that. But you know what? it's National Be Late for Something Day. I think I'm going to sleep in tomorrow, and then I can be late for everything, as long as I wake up at some point. Anyway, National Be Late for Something Day. And they're going to say, Rick, sometimes you're late getting the stream started. Well, that's because I'm busy doing a lot of stuff, and sometimes little glitches come up and things like that. But enough of the excuses. Those days were not National Be Late for Something Day, but tomorrow is. So I'm not going to be late for the wine stream tomorrow because there's no wine stream tomorrow. So I can be late for something else. National Be Late for Something Day. Did I drink to that already? I should do that again. I have a story there too, or 2 or 3 or 4, a lot more, but we're not going there now. Okay, I think it does it for the national days. Once again, we're drinking this. This is the Salice Salentino. It's Caleo. It's a 2018, and that's actually quite good. Okay, so one thing that I really want to show everybody, let me get caught up with the chat here a little bit. Square Guy says, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. That Square Guy says, I was going to ask why you're not living your beardy dreams now. And he says, hell yeah, I love being late. I think it's important to be on time, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to be late. And my lovely wife, Chi, says, we are going to have kale pizza tomorrow. Yikes. What? No, we're not having kale pizza tomorrow. No, I don't think so. We're not having kale anything tomorrow. Look, there are a lot of veggies that wines go with. Kale is not one of them. In my personal opinion, kale is not one of them. I don't think kale goes with anything except more kale and a Pepto-Bismol or something. Some people love kale. Some people love kale. I'm going to knock it, but I'm not one of them. Okay? All right, to answer your question, that Square Guy, you were going to ask why you're not living your beardy dreams now. Well, there's a reason for that, and I'll tell you this real quick. I'll make it real quick. As only Rick can, right? Yeah. So, real quick, I had my beard up until 1993. And then I met this wonderful woman, the most wonderful woman in the world. She just knocked me down. She knocked my socks off. She just, she was just an amazing person, and I fell in love with her, and we dated for a while. And then one day she said this. She said, if you really loved me, you'd shave your beard off. Because she hated beard. She hated facial hair. She did not like face. She did not want to kiss a guy with facial hair. So she said, if you really loved me, you would shave that facial hair off. Now I ask you guys, Square Guy, I'm going to ask you this too. Anybody who has facial hair or has had facial hair, what would you do? If she was somebody that you really loved and who really loved you, and you thought she was the one, she was the only one, if you thought she was it, the love of your life, what would you do? You don't really want to say that, do you? Oh my goodness! That square guy says. That Square Guy says dumper. Like a bad habit. Come on, that's great. What if Darcy hated? Okay, what if Darcy hated facial hair? Obviously she doesn't because you guys are together and you're betrothed. And you two are a perfect couple. I have to say that right now. That Square Guy and Darcy Stardust, they're just a very lovely couple together. They are. They're just such a cute couple. And don't ever change. Stay that way always, the two of you. When I think of that Square Guy, I think of Darcy. When I think of Darcy, I think of that Square Guy. The two of you were made for each other, in my personal opinion. And here's to both of you, by the way. I'll drink to that. Square Guy says, lucky I'm lucky she doesn't. Tom Antio says, dang. The Square Guy says, maybe compromise and settle for a mustache. I tried that, Rude. It didn't work. I tried that, and actually, I think it might work. It might have worked, but okay. So here's what happened. So I thought about that for a while. I thought really, really hard about that. I thought long and hard. I really contemplated this. I thought, I love my beard and I love my mustache, but I love my girlfriend even more. And the thing is, I thought about it for a minute. I think, you know what? Here's the thing. I can get rid of my mustache and my beard, but I can always grow it back. But I may not ever find the love of my life ever again. I may not ever find that person ever again. That's what I thought about. That's what got me. And I'm thinking, okay, if I don't lose the beard and mustache, she might leave me. And I might never find true love. Then again, if I lose the beard and the mustache, we can see how it works out. And if it works out, then it's all good. If it doesn't work out, and I dump her, as that Square Guy says, or she dumps me, or it's mutual, and it turns out she's not the love of my life, then I can always grow it back. The thing is, the hair is there. It's all now. Yeah, I never was able to grow this back, but I could always grow back the beard and the mustache. And somebody was going to call me on that, but I figured I'd beat you to it. Anyway, the thing is, that was how I approached it. I approached it from a logical point of view, weighing the odds, weighing, just thinking about it logically. I can grow this back, but I can't necessarily get back the love that I may have lost. So in the end, I decided to go ahead and shave my beard and my mustache. And when I pulled up in her driveway and she saw me without the beard and the mustache, it was the signal to her. She was so excited. She was so excited, and she just ran to me. She jumped in my arms. She gave me a big kiss, and I knew that she was mine. I was hers. And well, the rest is history. And she has remained mine for 27 years. And I will drink to that. Anyway, true story. Ask Chi. True story. She'll tell you. Although her version of it might be slightly different. She'd be like, you better take that thing off. Anyway, okay, so there we go. All right, so I've got something to show you, something I've been working at, something that I worked on long and hard. Okay. So that Square Guy, I'm glad you're here in the chat. As I mentioned before, that Square Guy and Darcy, they do all these streams, right? And I hang out in their stream. I'm part of that Square Gang, and not the Square Gang, that Square Gang, because it is that Square Gang. And the Square Guy, that Square Guy, sorry, I need more wine. Anyway, so he does the Lego streams where he builds Lego kits and things like that. And that's one of the things he does. He does the baking videos, and he does technically, I've got two things to show him tonight. I've got two things to show you tonight, which one of them you've already seen. Here's the other one. Okay, so when we were up in Boone, moving my son Tommy, Tom Antio, into his brand new dorm at Appalachian State University, also known as App State U. we were walking around Boone, as we like to do, and we went to the Mast General Store. They have a general store. It's like an old-time kind of general store. One of the cool things about Mast General Store is they have a lot of cool stuff. It looks like something out of the 1800s, like a general store you would see in the Old West. But it is on the east, up in the mountains, in Boone, North Carolina. Named after Daniel Boone, by the way. Yes, it is. And if you don't know who Daniel Boone is, okay. Another story for another time. So that's going to be my new tagline now. So while we were there, one of the things we bought was this, and I showed it to you last time, the time before that, the minifigure faces puzzle. And that's one thing we bought there. We bought something else there. My daughter, Tia, said, hey, let's build some things out of Legos. And I thought, well, that could be fun. But we have a lot of Legos here. I was like, what are you talking about? Okay, well, let's not so much Legos, but bricks. And I said, okay, that really could be fun. So she bought a bag for me, and she bought a bag for her. And today I used my bag. I opened my bag, and I used it, and I built something with it. And I hope you'll be proud of it, because I'm going to show it to you in a minute after I've got it queued up here. I did. But here we go. I'm going to show it to you right now. I built this. This is a... it's kind of a throne. Tia calls it a throne. And I was looking for something to build that I could use all the Lego pieces, or not Legos, because they're not Legos, they're bricks. I could use all the pieces out of the bag. They come in bags and at the Mass General Store, although you can buy them loose at the candy store. These are candy bricks. These are all candy bricks. And I was... The Square Guy says, that's really sweet. Sorry I was away from the phone. Yeah, you're talking about our story here. This guy, he says, yes. Well, the drink with bricks thrown. Oh, I like that. The drink with bricks thrown. I like that. I could put that up on... I could put that up in the background. Drink with bricks. That's cool. Okay, but these are not just any bricks. These are candy bricks. Okay, and I know you've mentioned, that Square Guy, you've mentioned candy bricks before, because I mentioned the chat once, I think, and you didn't think too much of it. But I actually built something with candy. Okay, this took me like 20 minutes to build. Okay, I just put something together. It took me 20 minutes to build. And this, I had it to show. I was going to show it here. Let me show it to you here. I had it setting up here before the show. And it's a good thing that I took a picture of it before the show, because I put it on camera 3. It came apart. I was taking this thing down just moments before the show, or just right after the show started, and the thing just came apart on me. It came apart on me because the thing about candy bricks is that they don't stay that well, you know. But the candy bricks, anyway, the candy, yeah, I don't know. I like these. They're tasty too. It's kind of like, yeah, they're good. No, I can't finish the thing because I ate the brick. They come in a bag like this. Candy bricks. Candy bricks, and I don't have any. I don't have any affiliate links, because I'm not affiliated with any candy store. But you can pretty much pick them up, and usually they're not in a bag like this. They're Mass General Store bags them up. They say so on the back. But they're usually loose. You can find them just about any candy store around most of the time. But I thought this would be fun, and I built this because after sitting in the stream for the Square Guys chat last night, I was thinking, you know what? I got these bricks. I should put these things together just for fun, so I'd have to show them. And I'm really glad you're here in the chat tonight, because I made this. I kind of made this for you. I did. I made it for me too, because I like the bricks because they're really tasty. But in fact, I'm gonna have another one. I hope I don't break my teeth on it. Anyway. Square Guy says, "Oh no, I'm very proud." You should be. You should be. Tommy Anthony says, "Rolls off the tongue." Drink with bricks thrown. I got to build another one just so I can I can put up a backdrop and that kind of thing. Could be a lot of fun. So maybe I can do that here. Hold on a second. I don't know if I can do that here. Can I do this here? Yeah, I can. Let me get that situated. Here we go. I'm sorry, folks. I'm messing around here just because I can, and we're just having some fun here. But we're gonna have some. Here we go. There we go. I like that. We're gonna tell some dad jokes. How about if we tell some dad jokes? No, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do. Here we go. This is what I want to do. All right. Off the cuff. On the fly. Okay. The Drink with Bricks show. I think I'll just leave that up for the rest of the show. And I'm proud that you're proud. That I'm humbled that you're proud. That Square Guy. One of my great accomplishments in life. You know what? This goes pretty good with the wine, actually. I mean, if I didn't have... Let me try a small piece. If I didn't have if I didn't have Sugar Shock before, I'm going to get now. That's tasty. All right. So, dad jokes. Let's do some dad jokes. We got enough people in the chat to do that with. Let's do some dad jokes. Anybody have some dad jokes that they want to throw into the chat? Stuff we haven't heard before? I got a few of them. I don't like cheese joke about the kale pizza. I certainly hope it's a joke. May not be. I know my wife very well. Sometimes she's joking, sometimes she's not. Sometimes it's hard to tell. All right, I got some few dad jokes. I'll start this off. I'll start the ball rolling here. You know, I just want to let everybody know, first of all, I took a shower just before, and that's not a dad joke, by the way. I did take a shower just before the show. I like to, I do that. And so I'm nice and clean to be presentable when I'm here with you. And I used a lot of soap. I used to be addicted to soap, but I'm clean now. And, a guy walks into a bar, and he was disqualified from the limbo contest. I just heard about that one. Did you know that when two vegans get pregnant? Oh, excuse me. I read that wrong. There's no rewind. There's no do-over on this. All right. Okay. That was beyond bad. I haven't even started. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. When two vegans get in an argument, is it still called a beef? You have a beef. Okay. I ordered a chicken and egg from Amazon. I'll let you know which comes first. Do you want to, somebody asked me, do you want a box for your leftovers at the restaurant the other night? And I said, no, but I'll wrestle you for them. And if a child refuses to nap, are they guilty of resisting arrest? Who knows? And here's one. Here's one from my friends in Ireland, where I got the original Irish crystal glass. What country's capital is growing the fastest? Ireland. Every day it's Dublin. I don't have a you know. Yeah, I got one for this. It makes people talk. It makes people talk. Anyway, Tom Antio has one. He says, what do houses wear? An address. Oh boy, that's a good one. That's a good one. What do houses wear? An address. I like that one. That's a good one. He doesn't have one of my dad joke books with him, by the way. He does not have one of those. Off the cuff, huh? That square guy says, what kind of material are Marlowe's overalls made from? Oh, Mario's. I'm sorry. I read that wrong. That boy, I really destroyed that, didn't I? Okay, let me read that again. What material are Mario's, it's my eyesight here. What kind of materials are Mario's overalls made from? And Tom Antio says, Demon. That square says, Demon. I like that one. That was good. You know how long it's been since I played a Mario game? And we still got that one. Tom Antio says, I have the internet. Yeah. Yeah, Tom Antio says, took me a second. Okay, anybody have any more? You know what? If Barnstar was in the chat, he'd have... Is Barnstar in the chat? He's not in the chat. Barnstar's not in the chat tonight. If Barnstar was in the chat, we'd have 1 million of them here. We would. Okay. To Barnstar. I've got a few more here. Let me see what we got. Yeah, that square guy says, if only Barnstar were here. If only. You know, I once had a dream I was floating in an ocean of orange soda. It was more of a fantasy. I don't know. Did you know corduroy pillows are in style? They're making headlines. Only if you sleep on them. If you sleep on corduroy pillows only. Did you hear about the kidnapping at school? It's okay. He woke up. Okay, I like that one. That one started off a little bit ominous. It's okay, he woke up. Kidnapping at school, yeah. Okay. That's still pretty bad. A cheeseburger walks into a bar. The bartender says, sorry, we don't serve food here. Yeah, I've heard that one before, but it's still funny. It's still funny. Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing? In case they get a hole in one. Okay, that's worse than bad. Because I've heard it so many times. Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera. Reminds me of something else. It reminds me of a scene from one of my films, and I haven't shown it yet, and one of these days I will, but there is a shower scene in it, by the way. Yeah, there is a shower scene, very, very short, and it's me singing Italian opera in the shower. No, it's that you don't even actually see. I'm singing in the shower, but it's not graphic or anything. Fortunately for the audience, it's not graphic at all. But it is terrifying to the ears, I think. That's not a dad joke. That's true. That's true. What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie? Sophisticated. Ooh. Okay, I hadn't heard that one before. How do you follow Will Smith in the snow? Okay, I'll let you think about this for a second. Anybody else know the answer to this? How do you follow Will Smith in the snow? Give up. You follow the Fresh Prince. Ba-dum-bum. I don't have a ba-dum-bum. I got a lot of other stuff, but I don't have a ba-dum-bum. I don't have a rim shot here. One of these days I'll have to I'll have to. I got my one-man clapping again here. There we go. Where do fruits go on vacation? Paris. Paris. I asked my dog what's 2 minus 2. He said nothing. He said nothing. Here you go. Here's an international joke. What's the best thing about Switzerland? I mean, I've never been to Switzerland, but it would be kind of a fun place, I think, to go. What's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag is a big plus. This is getting bad, isn't it? Where do you learn to make a banana split? Sunday school. That square guy says that was a good one. Yeah, actually, it was a pretty good one. It really was. The one before that, I think, is the one you're talking to. We're talking about what has more letters in the alphabet? The post office. Dad, did you get a haircut? No, I got them all cut. That's bad. I've used that one. Oh man, that is a groaner because my kids, the first time I ever told that one to my kids, they groaned. And I've used it many, many times, and they still groan every time I use it. And it's not even funny, really, but in my opinion. But I still say it all the time. I got carded at a liquor store, and my Blockbuster card accidentally fell out. The cashier said, "Never mind." Now, if you're not in the U.S., if you're not familiar with Blockbuster Video, Blockbuster Video was they existed back in the early 80s to the late 90s, and there's actually still one Blockbuster Video store that exists. The only Blockbuster, the last Blockbuster, and they actually made a documentary movie. They actually made a movie about this. I think you can find it on Netflix or Amazon or somewhere. But I've watched part of it. It's pretty interesting. It's a lot of history with Blockbuster Video. Where do boats go when they're sick? To the boat dock. I knew that. Everybody knows that. I don't trust those trees. They seem kind of shady. My wife is really mad at the fact that I have no sense of direction. So I packed up my stuff and write. Let's see. There's some of these that are so bad I won't even tell them. That square guy says, "Ha ha ha! I like the tree one." Yeah, actually, yeah, the tree one's okay. What? Okay, this one's kind of funny. What did one hat say to the other? It said, "Stay here. I'm going on ahead." It's just stupid. It's kind of funny, actually. I like this one. You don't even know what I'm laughing at yet. Boy, in just a few seconds, you're going to be sorry you do. Why did Billy get... I need another one of these. I need one more of these. Okay. Running down to eat a brick. Why did Billy get fired from the banana factory? I'll let you think about that one for a second. Why did Billy get fired from the banana factory? He kept throwing away the best ones. The bent ones. That's what I was saying. I screwed that up. I should have eaten that before this. He kept throwing away the bent ones, yeah. Why can't a nose be 12 inches long? Because then it would be a foot. Nah. Wah, wah, wah. That's a no. Uh, some of these are just kind of not. I mean, some dads wouldn't even tell these. I would, because I'm that kind of a dad. What kind of car does an egg drive? A Volkswagen. You know, I have a joke about chemistry, but I don't think it will get a reaction. What do you call it when a snowman throws a tantrum? A meltdown. Is that any surprise? What concert cost just 45 cents? 50 Cent featuring Nickelback. I don't know. I've heard that one a bunch of times. That's why that doesn't do anything for me. I've heard it too many times. Yeah, I've heard a few of these too many times. Let me scroll down and find a couple others here. That's let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, if April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims. Okay, that's an old one. I think that's almost as old as the Mayflower itself. I bet the Pilgrims made this joke just to keep them in good countenance during the first winter in Plymouth Rock. I thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes. Turns out it was the refrigerator all along. Gotta think about that one for a second. Anybody can throw some light on that? Thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes. Turns out it was the refrigerator all along. Yeah. Hold a second. I got one for that. Where is it? I got one somewhere here. Maybe I don't. Okay, well, wait a minute. Maybe I got something already for that. Nope. Anyway, I know, I thought I had these set up, the other ones set up. I guess I don't. How does the moon cut his hair? Eclipse it. Okay, Score Guy says, ha ha ha, the direction one was good too. Yeah, it was. It was pretty good. The refrigerator one, does anybody get the refrigerator joke? I don't really. Somehow that one kind of went by me. I don't really. Maybe somebody could explain that one to me. I thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes. Turns out it was the refrigerator all along. That one went by for some reason. Maybe I just haven't had enough bricks to eat. I'm going to be snacking on these all night. Thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes. Turns out it was the refrigerator all along. Anybody else get that joke? That one's just, I don't know. I don't really get that one at all. You know, I've got I had a video for that. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's somewhere here. Okay, I've got a video for that somewhere. Where is it? A reaction. I would say a video reaction. Because this one's so bad that I've got to come up with a reaction of it. Here we go. Here it is. Okay. I knew I had a reaction for it somewhere. The direction was, I don't get this one. What is it? Am I missing something here? I don't know. What do a tick and Eiffel Tower have in common? They're both parasites. Ba-dum-bum. Needs more wine. And another brick, by the way. Okay. We got to find a good one. The last one needs to be a really, really good one. Let's see. Find a really, really good one here. I like telling dad jokes. Sometimes he laughs. Why can't you hear a psychiatrist using the bathroom? Because the P is silent. Okay, I like that one. That one's good. That one's good. Okay. Let's pick one more. Let's pick a good one. Let's see if we have one that's really, really good. Anybody have a good dad joke they can tell? I haven't checked Facebook for a while. Oh, Ed's in here. Ed's in the chat. Ed is a late arrival. How did I miss that? Goodness. Ed, you've been in there for 28 minutes and I didn't see you. That's because this dumb Facebook scroll is not scrolling on me for some reason, and I miss it all. And I keep checking in here, and I don't see anything scrolling, and all of a sudden, I have to do it manually, and now it's scrolling. Apologize for that, Ed. My good friend Ed, he worked with me at Disney for many years. Ed is a late arrival, he says. I'm glad you're here. Better late than never. He said he saw a play, a murder mystery, based on the comments made on social media. Okay, so he's got some dad jokes. So let's see. We've got some good dad jokes here, right? Okay. Ed says, 2 Cannonball got married and had BBs. I like that one. That's good. Okay, I do like that. The next one, where do they come from? They come from the dad joke book. I don't think I don't see that one in the dad joke books. I like that one. Wait a minute. He says, little babies wake up in the wee hours of the morning. I like that one. That's cute. I've got to. Where is my applause on this? Is my applause on this in here? I don't know what I did. Here it is. You get the applause, Ed. You get the applause on that. Ed says there's always been a secret to making illegal moonshine whiskey. It's a secret still. That's good. I like the other one better. I like that. The little babies wake up in the wee hours of the morning. That's a good one. I got to use that. The wee hours of the morning. I'll drink to that. If you've ever been a parent, you appreciate that joke even more. I'm telling you that you do. I've got a story, but I'm not going to embarrass my daughter with it because it's a funny story. It wasn't funny at the time, but it's a funny story. Maybe one day I'll tell it. I don't know. I have to clear that with her first before I tell that joke. She has to come in. I have to clear that before I tell. It's not a joke. It's a true story, by the way. I'll have to clear that with her first. Not for this show. But it's funny. Yeah, it's really funny. Anyways, the square guy says, I like the tree. Okay, I'm caught up there. All right, so I guess that the dad jokes, we need more people in here to actually do a whole contest. But I like the fact that everybody's here putting in dad jokes because I really like, I love dad jokes. I am a dad, and I love dad jokes probably a lot more than my kids do because they have to suffer through them. But, I tell me, if it weren't for dads, there'd be no dad jokes. And then some of my kids go, No. Anyway, I need another one of these. Anyway, I'm really eating these, okay? Camera 3. Okay, there's one more thing we have to try. My final review, and then we have to go. Okay. I thought it was going to be a short show tonight. Okay, back to camera 3. We're on it. This is my wife's apple pie. She made it tonight. while I was prepping for the show. I'm going to pull this off of here, and I'm going to try a piece. Right now, we're going to pair it with some food, with the wine. I'm going to pair it with some food. I had too much of this already. But then again, you know, I think that's what some people like to come. I know there are people lurking. I know because I see there are people lurking. I can't tell who they are. Some people come here just to see if I'm going to finish this bottle, if I'm going to drink the whole bottle. Tonight, though, I'm going to pair it with this. This is the apple pie that my wife made. Let me try this. Wow, that's good apple pie. I need another piece of this. Sorry. My wife makes an awesome apple pie. I know that Square Guy and Darcy, they make some great pies. I know. I haven't tasted them myself, but I can see that they make some really good pies. My wife, she makes a really awesome apple pie. She makes a lot of good pies, blueberry and cherry and stuff, but apple pies. I'm not a big apple pie person. I'm a big person, but not a big apple pie person. But I love her apple pies. This is very good. Let's try it with wine. That was a big piece. Let's try it. Hey. A little tart, mixing the two of them together, but it is really, really nice pairing. I'm going to have to finish that off later after the show. So, wow. Candy and apple pie and candy bricks. So here it is, that Square Guy. Bricks can go well with wine. Certain bricks, candy bricks, can go well with wine. Apple pie goes great with wine. I want to say that this has been a very, very interesting experience with this wine. I'm going to give my final review. This is the wine that we're drinking. This is the final review on it. Caleo Salice Salentino. $9.99 is what I paid for it at Total Wine. It's a little bit on the bold side. It does have some tannin in it, but it's not a lot. I expected to have a lot more tannin in it than it did. And it's not that tannic. It's kind of medium, in my opinion. It's kind of medium, not overly. But it is very, very bold. This is a very bold wine. But it has mellowed out just a little bit as it's opened up. It was a lot bolder when I first opened the bottle. But as it's opened up, and as I've been drinking it, it seems to have mellowed a little bit. It is a fairly dry wine. Not super dry, but fairly dry. Getting blackberry, getting hints of a couple other black fruits. I can't really remember exactly. Maybe some black cherry in there. It's licorice, and the licorice has stayed. The licorice notes, as it's said in there, the licorice notes have stayed, and that's one thing I like about this wine because I like licorice. I'm tasting some fennel in there, yeah, kind of licoricey. Fennel is. So it's good stuff. It's a little bit earthy. But not overly so. And it is, I would say this is a wine to drink with food. It went really, really well with the foods that we had paired it with tonight. Really, really well. I really liked it with the steak. Of course, I really liked that steak anyway. It went pretty well with the potatoes, the seasoned potatoes. It went pretty well with the, what is this? I'm looking right at it. I have had a lot. The Radish Salad, which is also very, very good. My wife, she makes her own recipe. And went well with all of the cheeses, except I'll have to say that I'm not really crazy about this aged Gouda by itself. I probably like it more if I like the aged Gouda, but the aged Gouda itself I wasn't crazy about. But the the other cheese here, which was the, what is this? This is the Rembrandt. Murray's. It's called Murray's Rembrandt cheese. And this one is the Trader Joe's Double Cream Gouda. It went very, very well with both of those. And it went well with the pie, and it went well with the candy blocks, the candy bricks there. So overall, I think it was a very good pairing with this wine. For $9.99, it's kind of hard to beat that. I can think of some other wines that would also go really, really well with some of these foods and various other wines. This one seemed to go pretty well with most all of them. So I'd say I could recommend this wine. I could recommend it. Unless you don't like a bold wine. If you don't like a bold wine, go with something a little bit lighter. This, though, I think you really should pair this one with food. I don't know that I would drink this one by itself. It really needs to be with some food. But that's my final review on it. That's my final review. And I want to say, there's one other thing. There's one real quick thing I want to mention. Hurricane season. We've got a new hurricane, Hurricane Larry, that's heading near the East Coast. They're saying it's a Category 3 now. They're saying it's not a huge threat to the U.S. mainland, but it is. It is out there in the Atlantic, and it's churning around, and it might strengthen even further. Please, 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 get yourself an emergency weather kit together. Go to ready.gov, get an emergency kit together, and be prepared for any kind of emergency, whether it's a hurricane, tornado, whatever, any kind of a disaster. Just be prepared for it. Go to ready.gov. They have a checklist of what you need to put together an emergency kit together. Of course, one of the items, the third item on that list, is an emergency weather radio. You can get this one right here is a Midland ER310, hand crank power, solar power, lithium-ion battery power, and it can power your other devices here too. And it also takes regular alkaline batteries. It has an SOS flashlight, it has Cree LEDs in it, which are very, very bright flashlight. It has also an emergency dog whistle in it. And you say, Rick, why an emergency dog whistle? Well, that's because, say for instance, you're in a snowstorm, you're buried under an avalanche or something, and nobody can hear you scream. It won't work in space, but in a snowstorm, yeah. And they send the dogs out to find you. You activate this dog whistle so the dogs can hone in on that sound and find you, that ultrasonic sound, and find you in time. So really, really cool stuff. And it does tell the time, too. It has an AM/FM radio, NOAA weather radio. It gets all the NOAA weather alerts and things like that. If you go to buytwowayradios.com, that's buytwowayradios.com. If you enter promo code WINESHOW, WINESHOW, at checkout, you can save 5% off your order. And that's all for all of the radios, not just the weather radios, but FRS, GMRS radios, ham radios, CB radios, business radios, scanners, any kind of radios or radio accessories. Go to buytwowayradios.com, enter the promo code WINESHOW, and you can save 5% off your entire order. Now, for full disclosure, I am the product manager of Buy Two Way Radios. I work for the company. I don't make any more off of that. And this is just something that I'm doing because my boss said, hey, you got a promo code for your show. Just put the promo code in. We don't make any more for that. You make 5% less because you're using the promo code. But this is just for you, as a viewer and a listener of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. So I'm not making any extra for this, okay? It's just my day job, and that is my day job. So they don't pay me any more for promoting this. So just to let you know, for full disclosure. All right. By the way, I've had people around asking, well, what do you do for the company? And I mentioned before that I write for the company. I put up all the products, and I do the blog. I write several blogs for the company, and particularly for Buy Two Way Radios. Do a lot of technical and support stuff for the company. Do a lot of social media related stuff. We'll wear a few hats there. really, I actually write some of the product manuals for a couple of radios that we put out. A few of the radios we put out. I've written the product manuals for them, the user manuals, and I do the podcast. We do the Two-Way Radio Show podcast, and we got another one coming out here very shortly. And I do actually that's on our 10th year. 10 years I've been doing the Two-Way Radio Show podcast, and it has been nominated for a People's Choice Podcast Award last year. Yeah, I think so. Year before. And I also do a lot of videos. So I am a YouTuber. I'm a professional, do a professional YouTuber and podcaster. You can actually go to bytwowayradios.com if you want to see me. You see my work. You can actually go to By Two-Way Radios on the YouTube channel, and you can actually see a lot of the videos that I've produced, all related to radios, and that's really what I do for the company. Just to let you know, full disclosure. This I do for fun. I don't make any money on this. Okay, just do this for fun. All right, it's getting late. It's midnight. It's after midnight. It's time to close it up. I wasn't planning to go that long, but it did. But I do want to thank everybody for being here with me tonight. And that's not the one. That's not the. Let's fix that. There we go. I want to thank everybody for being here with me tonight. Wow, I'm so glad that you're here, that Square Guy. That Square Guy says, I'm glad it hasn't been a short show. Lots of times my wife doesn't, and she says, you got to get off early tonight, and I'm like, well, okay, I'll make this a short show, and then it never works out, and then she gives me the evil eye. That Square Guy says, I want some of that pie. I tell you what, I'd like to send you some of that pie, but the last time I sent you something out there, it took like 3 months to get there or something. I don't think the pie would be any good by that time. Square Guy says, can't confirmed, I'm here to see you finish the bottle. It's a wine to drink with Rick. Thanks for the stream, Rick, and I thank you for being here. That Square Guy, really, really, really appreciate your being here. And I really appreciate, Ed, even though you're late, better late than never. Ed says, saw a play, a murder mystery based on the comments made on social media. I really need to check that out. Ed, I appreciate you being here. Oh, I almost forgot before I go, and this is going to make the stream even longer, right? Sorry, Chief. I meant to ask you earlier, that's Square Guy, you mentioned something about performing. Hey, can you tell me, take a minute or so out and tell me a little bit about that, performance? An actor? Is that what we're talking about? And tell me a little bit about that, because that's something that I would really be interested in knowing. I know you said that earlier in the stream. I have to scroll way up to find it. Let's see. Yeah, you said something about that, didn't you? Yes. Stage show. You're doing a stage show. Tell me about the stage show. Were you acting? Are you still acting? If so, I like that. I like this. Cool stuff. Ed enjoys that sort of thing. Ed is involved in Ed has actually written plays before, and he is involved in that sort of thing as well. And a few people are, but I'd like to know more about that. I'd like to know more about your the performing aspect of this. So. I don't mean to put you on the spot, to be honest. If you don't want to say anything, it's okay. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'd like to know more about that. That's fascinating to me. As I said before, yes, I'm not really a celebrity hound, so to speak, and the celebrities, that kind of thing. But yeah, I have worked with people in the industry. I've known a few people in the industry, here in the U.S. I've had occasion to work with people. I've had occasion to meet a few people in the industry. Some of them are not with us anymore. That's but yes, I have done that, working in television and broadcasting. That you kind of is kind of part of the deal. So I'm not averse to that, but I'm not someone who goes out and says, "Oh, I got a picture. I want my autograph. Can you give me your autograph?" I'm not that kind of person. I'm really, and I probably shouldn't say that because my kids have seen some of my portfolio here, where some of my pictures here, where they've had celebrity photos and signed autographs and stuff like that. But it's not exactly like that. It's not like I wasn't hounding them to do that. It's just kind of like, well, they were there, I was there, when I had a picture, and yeah, sure, I'll sign it for you. But it's not something I take a lot of stock in. It's not something that really, especially these days. I've grown older. I just realize how, I don't know, it's not. How should I put this? I'm going on a rant again here, and it's like 12 o'clock. I'm about to shut down the show, and I'm going on a rant. I don't want to do that. But I am interested in the theater. I'm interested in film and video, as many of you know. And people who work in the industry, I've met a few of them, and I like to do stuff in the industry from time to time. So I'm interested in other people that do that. That doesn't necessarily make me a celebrity, It just means that I share some of those interests. Okay, so anyway, that where was I? I was digressing again. That's me going off on my stream of consciousness kind of thing. And that square guy, he got real quiet there, so I guess he doesn't want to say anything now. But I gotta ask you about that at some point. Performing, I like that. Cool, good stuff. Stage performance, even better. Okay, so this is all I got for tonight. So we're going to close it up. I want to thank everybody for being here with me tonight. I really, really do appreciate you being here. I really do. Even every single one of you, and even those who did not say anything in the chat, because I know there were those of you who were not saying anything in the chat, but thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I want to thank my lovely wife, Chi. I want to thank my good friend Ed Anthony, who is in the chat with me tonight. Also, anybody who is watching me on YouTube and Twitter. I also want to thank Tom Antio and that square guy and Bex and anybody else who is watching me that did not speak up. Thank you very, very much for being here. I do want to remind everybody, please do not drink and drive. We're drinking here, but I'm not driving anywhere. I'm right here in my home studio at home. Please, this is very, very important. Please do not drink and drive. Please drink in the comfort of your home, your apartment, your hotel room, your dwelling, whatever it is, wherever you are. Please do not drink and drive. Call an Uber, a Lyft, a cab, a friend. Just stay put. Do not drink and drive. Do not text and drive, because that's not good either. Because I want you to have a great week, but most of all, I want you to have a safe week. And I mean that, because you mean a lot to me. So I want you to have a safe week. So you can all join me here again next week on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. And we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.